Hey guys, welcome back. You're watching Kendall Live. I'm Caitlyn.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Cecilia. This week, we're looking at a genre that bends the conventions of music and continually writes new sets of rules for future generations of artists. Ranging from the Velvet Underground to Animal Collective, experimental music is always setting new trends. Stick around for a great episode, including Scenic sessions with Juliano. Stay tuned.
Today on Kendall Live, we're going to play musical this or that. In this segment, I'll provide our panelists with a choice, and they have to give 3 solid reasons to back up their decision. Determine who wins the debate at home, and leave your choice in the comments below this video. Okay, so our first question is, of Animal Collective's earlier material, which album is better? Spirit They've Gone, Spirit They're Vanished, or Campfire Songs?
Well, personally for me, I think that Spirit They've Gone, Spirit They've Vanished is a better album because I wouldn't say it's the best one. Animal Collective were very young when they made it, and it's always said in some ways they were still finding their footing, but I've also some parts of vocals, especially with how Avatar sings and how it's so innocent. It kind of sounds like the Beach Boys at times, honestly, which is something that I really honestly love. And even though there are a couple of noise parts to the album that I could have done without, I feel as though the album is just very childlike, very innocent, which I like. The synths are amazing, they're so beautiful, so ethereal, and I like how the album has nice production and outstanding drumming too. Like, I think that Panda Bear's drumming of that album gets an A+ for me. It's just so complex, such nice rhythms to it. It has power to it too. So that's my choice.
I tend to disagree. I'm not a huge Animal Collective fan, but as a standalone album, each of them I was more compelled towards Campfire Songs, just because it has a more folksy rhythm. It's a lot more cohesive to me, and it kind of follows the same trend. Whereas Spirit They've Gone, Spirit They've Vanished was kind of too self-involved for me, where it's a little bit too experimental, which seems kind of anti-productive, counterproductive in this situation. But like, as a standalone album to listen to it, it was kind of laborious for me. But Campfire Songs I enjoyed as a standalone album.
Our next question is the Velvet Underground, one of my personal favorites, or Swans?
Velvet Underground, 110% of the time.
Okay. I also prefer the Velvet Underground too because as great as Swans is, don't get me wrong, Soundtracks for the Blind is a great album, and albums like the Sea and Tubi kind of good parts too, but the Velvets, they were just such an influential and amazing band. Like stuff like Venus and Furs, Run Run Run, European Sun, that's noise rock in the 60s. Who else was doing that kind of stuff? Not even the Who and Stones got as hard and noisy as the Velvets, and plus stuff like Black Angel's Death Song and Lady Godiva's Operation, just so nihilistic, so raw and in your face, honestly, talking about drugs and sex in this nasty nihilistic way that nobody else did in the 60s. And plus, Lou Reed is such a great vocalist overall. He wasn't much of a singer, but just that monotone thing he had going on, that kind of drawl, that deadpan thing, it just gave so much emotion to songs. Especially when the Velvets did their third album, which is so quiet, so calm and peaceful, especially compared to their earlier stuff. I think that beauty, Lou Reed's vocals, and just how the time the Velvets were, that gives them the edge over Swans, as great as Swans is as well.
Right, and as you're referring to Lou Reed's like kind of monotone voice, it kind of reminds me of Bob Dylan, and already you see a lot of the effects of like what the Velvet Underground did do for music and following generations. But it's also the artistic aspect of the Velvet Underground and what went behind the production of a lot of their music that I find very interesting and really compelling, just because you have like this transcendental 60s psychedelic movement, plus Andy Warhol's work that goes along with it. And just to picture all these really iconic people sitting in an apartment in the Village, just making music all day, making art all day. It's more than just making noise. It's something that they really spoke through, and I think that's one of the quintessential times of music to progress into that way and just kind of go in that direction, because there's a lot more feeling in there than what your typical like 60s pop would be.
Okay.
Like the Beatles, of course, are like so influential and so legendary, and so is Pink Floyd and everything like that. And again, Pink Floyd kind of has those undertones as well, where it's really transcendental and way above its time and beyond. Whereas Swans, to me, was a lot more mechanical. It was doing a lot more with its music. Again, as like a mechanism more so than an art form. And I see what they were doing there, and I see that that was a really interesting kind of contrast between the two, but there was a lot more emotion that goes behind the Velvet Underground, which I always appreciate.
Yeah, I hear.
Okay, that kind of leads into the next question, which is which experimental vocalist do you prefer, Lou Reed or Captain Beefheart?
My vote would always go to Lou Reed because, don't get me wrong, Captain Beefheart is a really interesting musician, and he was just so out there in more ways than one. But I feel so Lou Reed was the better vocalist because I just connect with that deadpan sound more, that lack of singing that he has. It just sounds so cool, when you hear him sing in something like Venus and Furs, how he's just not really singing, he's more like talking at you.
It's just raw.
Yeah,
it
it's raw.
connects so much more to the listener. It just says a lot more without kind of overdoing it, because you have a lot of artists that focus a lot more on their vocals and using that as an instrument, which is great, and you've seen so many great artists that do stuff like that. But when it comes to Lou Reed and like Bob Dylan, like I was mentioning before, and just kind of stuff like that, it really carries into this conversational piece.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say about Captain Beefheart, as great as he is, sometimes it just feels he's just very bizarre, honestly, very avant-garde for my taste, honestly. I like the blues influences as vocals, as well as Contralto Sopica, where he's just so crazy overall, but I feel so Louis just has more emotion, in my opinion. It just resonates me more, especially in the Velvet Ground's third album, when the Velvet Ground get rid of all the noise experimentation, and Louis truly gets to focus on how good he was as a songwriter. That's why I give the edge to Lou Reed.
Okay, great job, guys. Don't forget to vote for your winner in the comments. Let's see what finishes in third and fourth place in this week's countdown.
Welcome to Kendall Live Twitter Countdown. I'm Kelsey Fama with the results of this week's poll. Let's jump right into it and see which artist won third and fourth place for the most influential experimental rock album of all time. Freak Out is the album from Mothers of Invention, the band fronted by the infamous Frank Zappa. Released in 1966, the album combines a variety of innovative sounds and techniques. Freak Out comes in fourth this week on the countdown. Daydream Nation is Sonic Youth's fifth album, which dropped in 1988. Even in 1988, this album received critical acclaim and has since developed a reputation as the band's most prolific work. It comes in at number 3 on our countdown.
Hi, I'm Mark Juliano, and this is Forever Young by Bob Dylan. May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung, and may you stay forever young. Forever
The Velvet Underground and Nico is the band's debut album released in 1967. The record is a collaboration with Nico, a German singer well known for her avant-garde style. Thematically, the album was controversial, even in the counterculture of the 1960s. It discusses topics such as drug use and sexuality in ways that were previously untouched. Andy Warhol designed the cover of the record, a testament to the album's truly experimental sound. The Velvet Underground and Nico comes in second this week. Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon is more than the classic rock staple in every dad's collection. The 8th studio album from the legendary band is deeply rooted in experimental techniques. Thematically dense and musically innovative, it's no wonder this album is considered among the best of all time. Tracks such as Time and Money show an early example of sampling, a technique that we are so used to hearing in today's music. The album comes in first this week. I'm Kelsey Fama. Keep a lookout for next week's countdown.
That sums it up for this week's Kendall Live. If you're interested in joining Alliance Television, email us at ltb@tcnj.edu and keep an eye out for next week's countdown. I'm Caitlyn.
I'm Cecilia.
And I'm Brandon. See you next time.